moments ago, something believed to be a plane crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center.
This is not the story of 9/11. This is the story within 9/11.
Let's go take a look back. Mary Murphy looked at the bombing in 1993 and other acts of terrorism since. Here's her report.
February 26, 1993, is the day foreign terror blasted New York into a new reality.
I never want to go through that again. I'll never go in that building. It was horrible, the feeling not getting out, not being able to get out. You felt smothered.
Within a week, the FBI had the undercarriage of the Ryder rental van that carried the bomb and its first suspect in New Jersey, a Palestinian named Mohammed Salameh, and then another Palestinian, chemical engineer Nadel Ayad, whose voice was captured on a message left for the Daily News.
This is the Liberation Army. We conducted the explosion at the World Trade Center.
The FBI discovered this ripped photo of Ayad in a garbage can outside his New Jersey home, the accused terrorist posing with a grenade beneath a Palestinian flag. The feds also found him posing with Egyptian radical El Sayed Nosair at Attica State Prison in New York before the Trade Center bombing, but after Nosair had been convicted of gun charges in the fatal shooting of Rabbi Meir Kahane. Within months, the group would be linked to a much larger conspiracy. A blind Egyptian sheikh named Omar Abdel Rahman finally surrenders from a Brooklyn mosque after the FBI discovers a bomb factory at a Jamaica Queens warehouse. Surveillance tape showing a half-dozen men delivering steel drums to the site.
As we entered the bomb factory, the 5 subjects were actually mixing the witch's brew.
The sheikh was later convicted of plotting attacks on the UN and bridges and tunnels linking New York and New Jersey. This evidence tape shows ringleader Sadiq Ali doing a run-through in the Lincoln and Holland tunnels, even scoping out areas where security personnel are stationed. Within a year of the sheikh's life sentence, 2 letter bombs arrived at the United Nations, not long after others had turned up at a federal prison housing the sheikh.
All were postmarked from Alexandria, Egypt.
And on February 23, 1997, the city was once again shaken by a fatal shooting rampage, this one on the observation deck of the Empire State Building. In this case, 69-year-old Palestinian Ali Abu Kamal from Gaza City killed a Danish tourist and then himself, leaving behind a letter that railed against Americans and Zionists, stating a goal to murder as many as possible.
We learned we were vulnerable then. We were vulnerable again when they hit Oklahoma City. And again, America and humanity is vulnerable to terrorism as we lost the World Trade Center today and an untold number of lives as well.
What has our great democratic government done here? What has our media done here? You know, the one story about 911, there's a lot of stuff you can hear about 911, but all you need to know about 911 and the fact that what we've been told is a lie is the personal testimony of William Rodriguez. Absolutely. I've heard all the stories. I've been on all the websites. I've read the books. I've seen the videos. I'm here to tell you his personal testimony, his singular experience proves that it's a lie.
Our office was on the B1 level. As I was talking to a supervisor at 846, and all of a sudden we hear, boom! An explosion so hard that pushed us upwards. And it came from the basement between the B2 level and the B3 level. And when I went to verbalize, we hear the impact of the plane on the top. 2 different events. That was the plane on the top. There was an explosion prior the plane hitting the building. A person comes running into the office saying, explosion, explosion, explosion. His hands extended, and all the skin pulled from under his armpits on both arms, hanging on the top of the fingertips. Imagine you take off a glove and you let it hanging. And I didn't know what it was. It was his skin. And when I said, what happened? He was in a shock. And what appeared to be a red shirt, then we realized as he got closer is that he was drenched in blood. This guy was burned 33% of his body, 33%. And as he got closer and everybody realized that, Horror, everybody screaming, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And as he got closer, we realized all this part of his face was hanging. And I say, don't move, because I was going to go inside the office to pick up the phone to call the emergency medical unit that was located on the South Tower. The North Tower and the South Tower connected through the basement. There was like a big loop, but they connected through the basement. And they were very efficient to get there. So I went to tell them that I have an injured person in the office. When I went to pick up the phone, another explosion. Very loud, very powerful. The floor started moving below us, and everybody started running to the door frames because they thought it was an earthquake. And they're all piling up by the door frames, all of them. And when I see that, my supervisor, Anthony Saltalamaica, started screaming, it's a bomb, it's a bomb. But why is he saying that? Because he survived the bomb of 1993. A van was placed on our side of the building, same basement, way below, and it blew up. And it killed 6 people, 1,000 people were injured. And of course, he is acting on his memory.
And ultimately, with William himself both surviving the first and last attack on the Twin Towers, brave he has been for going public with his story. He's extremely lucky given the number of people who were at the World Trade Center in 2001 and died, but had already survived the 1993 bombing, like Fire Marshal Ronald Bucca, who also responded to 1993 and 2001, but on 9/11, he reached the impact zone of the 78th floor of the South Tower with Battalion Chief Oriel Palmer and died during the building collapse while devising a plan to put out the fire.